This crowd's insane. I'm actually fearing for my life. I need to be escorted to the helipad immediately. Well, happy Monday, everyone. So, all right, we'll save the Trump stuff for the B block. But tonight, what's with all the people eating bugs? First, you remember this crackpot.
Are you ready?
Cheers.
Actually, I'm less scared of this. Okay.
Oh, the crunch.
Do I have a wing hanging out of my mouth?
Hey, I hope it's a wing. You never know, it's CNN. But why'd they pick her anyway? I can think of someone else at CNN who needs to be restricted to eating just bugs. Low-hanging fruit. But now in recent years, everyone's getting into the act, even celebrities.
You want to share a spider?
So can I make one without flavor?
It's actually really good, the flavor.
Hornworms. They're still alive. Extraordinary.
It's ants. Yeah. The answer, it's really good.
These are crickets from Mexico, from Oaxaca.
Is it weird to just go with
Oh, yeah, just go for the cockroach.
Unlike his ratings. He's gone. Who cares? But they could even act like they enjoyed it, and a lot of them were actors. Of course, now some claim that you should be eating insects in order to reduce carbon emissions.
This is a powder derived from the mealworm, and it's a insect protein just been approved by the EU for human consumption. The making of it is severely reducing the amount of emissions it takes. If we make this switch, it's a huge, huge intervention.
I'm pretty sure that guy sat next to me on a Greyhound bus in 1989. He was telling about how his voices were telling him to go to, I don't know, to go eat insects. So now it's a moral obligation to eat insects. But like eating a centipede, they're just playing the long game, right? I didn't write that. If you laughed, I would have taken ownership of it. But we just fired that person. First, they're going to tell you that eating insects isn't at all weird. Then they're going to tell you it's normal to eat insects. And then finally, you're racist if you don't eat insects. So Yahoo, remember that? Yahoo actually wrote a fact-check piece claiming eating insects isn't harmful. I'm going to quote this. Social media posts say that chitin contained in insect exoskeleton cannot be processed by the human body. This is misleading. While some parts of insects may not be digested entirely by humans, it doesn't mean that eating them is harmful. I don't know. I think those experts are full of chit. So, maybe not every bug makes you sick, but if I've got worms in my stomach, take me to the hospital. And don't suggest that they need company. Now, others will say bugs are part of a balanced diet in other countries, as well as being integral to the culture, which explains why people leave there to come here. If insects are integral to your culture, you need to find a new culture. If I was working in immigration and a refugee came to my desk and I asked, "Why are you here?" and they said, "My family eats insects," I'd wave them all through. Bugs are carriers of disease and parasites. The texture is disgusting. No one smiles when they eat insects. And when Robert Downey Jr. says it will reduce emissions, yeah, but by what? One study found that if every American became vegetarian, emissions would drop by only 5%. That's not worth it. Fact is, most people eat meat because it's healthy. And as Michael Schellenberger, author of the book Apocalypse Never, points out, the amount of pollution from farming is trivial compared to jet setting around the world promoting bug cuisine. So, yeah. And so what if it's popular in other countries? You know what else is popular in other countries? Beheadings. Which is also good for the climate because it cuts down on exhaling, which in turn cuts down CO2 levels. Should we adopt that practice too? Being headless makes it more difficult to drive, helping the environment as well. That's the point, though. It's not about your health or your taste buds. It's about climate. The BBC asks, could grasshoppers really replace beef? Well, here's the long answer. No. The writer... Standing up for swearing. The writer said he was intrigued to see how he could lower his carbon footprint if he ate bugs as his main source of protein. Well, you do that, champ. And also be sure and write another piece when you stop making insects your main source of protein. That'll be 2 days later when you're writing it from a hospital bed. So why all this media lockstep? Once again, it's driven by people who exempt themselves from their own advice. Do you think these elites will eat bugs themselves? Do you think Greta Thunberg's mom packed her centipede sandwich in her Hello Kitty lunchbox this morning? Do you think you're going to see cream of carpenter ant as a dinner special at the UN cafeteria? No, when they asked who ordered bugs at the World Economic Forum, all you hear is crickets.
Boom.
You would have used that joke. Oh, I'll take it. You see the faces of people who eat insects. It's revulsion. And revulsion is an instinct. The humans who didn't find eating insects revolting died. That's why we prefer our food insect-free, because we're the ones left. Sure, you could say, but it's low fat, but so is dog. And I'm not smearing that across a bagel. I told Killmeat it was Nutella. But what really sucks, and the whole point of this is that they ignore the main reason that humans eat bugs. It's because they're poor, and they don't have access to better food. So instead, these fools try to make poverty seem like fun. I mean, do you think an African child would eat a plate of mealworms if they could have a bowl of pesto instead of pests? Like President Biden, bugs are no one's first choice. Terrible. They leave that part out of every story. The lack of prosperity that forces them to eat insects. Like the president's BMs. It's not voluntary. I left that in there, and I'm still wondering why. Then they call something people eat out of desperation a delicacy. By this logic, the Donner Party was a 12-course lesson in exotic cuisine. Don't knock it. But it's all about manufacturing consent, getting us to adopt a practice that advocates won't take part in, like giving up their personal jet or putting giant windmills in their backyards. The World Economic Forum may push this stuff, but they're not eating spiders, which, by the way, are now our competition for the insects. They're better at it. Look, we've all eaten insects before, too, but usually by accident.
Holy I just swallowed a bee. Holy I knew that little bugger. I'm good. He's down here buzzing around right now. Man, he went right down the hatch.
He didn't seem to enjoy that. He must be a bigot. Doesn't appreciate other cultures. But do you really think Americans are going to eat beetles when we can get lobster tail at the Sunoco station? Fact is, restaurants that have bugs on the menu are only because some dude used the menu to swat a fly. Sorry, my idea of a buffet isn't standing under a bug light, catching what falls onto my plate. But this isn't about you, and it's not about the rich, really. They aren't giving up their foie gras for fried worm. It's not about targeting the middle class either. The closest they'll come to eating a bug is the bee in Applebee's. The only people left, really, are the poor. So is that where we're headed? Feeding bugs en masse to the poor instead of helping them out of poverty? I'm jealous of the days when elites said, let them eat cake. Now it's let them eat cicadas. Let's welcome tonight's guests. Other than Shields, Brothers, and Babbling, she's my favorite, Brooke. Human rights lawyer and award-winning filmmaker and author, Brooke Goldstein. When the FBI raided his closet, there was nothing worth taking. Fox Across America host Jimmy Fallon. Musician, writer, director, producer, lawyer, host. Other than that, he's accomplished nothing. Producer and director Joe Escalante. And finally, she's like a matchstick, slender and ready to get lit. Fox News contributor Kat Tipp. So, Jimmy.
Yep.
I would make a comment about Miami Vice, but we've been down that road.
This is actually Jacksonville Vice. I wasn't cute enough to make Miami Vice. Like, down the road a few hundred miles, chubs.
Exactly. I was going to ask you if you've eaten bugs on purpose, and you cannot count the ones you find on your body or in your clothing.
Never by choice. I mean, if people want to eat bugs here in the city, there's a lot of restaurants that serve them. You can tell because they have a D in the window from the Board of Health. You know what I mean? It's every rationale for doing this, like you said, is a scam. Okay. Yes, they're pushing the impoverished lifestyle of other countries onto us. But even when they say like, oh, it's like what the cavemen did. Yo, the cavemen lived to be 21. Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know that we should be adopting any of their practices. But, like, that's the whole scam again and again and again, is that they're leaving out the fact that this is an options-based issue. Nobody buys a blow-up doll because they're just cleaning up with the ladies. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good analogy. They still make those, Jimmy?
Asking for a friend, of course. I just love that with everything going on in the news, you opened on eating bugs. Is it Cattle Rancher Week on Gutfeld? Like, I loved it.
And we did that story every single night.
No, you're right. I loved it. And I know this is personal for you because you're the same size as Ant-Man.
Oh.
That would be one.
Let's go to somebody with a brain. Brooke, you are a human rights lawyer.
That's right.
That's right.
This is a violation.
Oh, it is?
Sure.
Yeah.
I just find this so creepy and so elitist, okay? And it's creepy because they're not even hiding this coordination between the EU coming out, then there's the World Economic Forum, and then all of a sudden, overnight, Forbes and Bloomberg and Nature Magazine and Science Magazine, and then the government announces a meat tax.
Yes.
Right? That a meat tax might be coming. They're like forcing this notion on us, and it's so ridiculous and elitist. And you mentioned, I even saw in articles statistics saying something like, well, 70% of people in Africa eat bugs. That is not by choice.
Yes.
And if you put a child down who is in Africa and you put a bug and a burger in front of that child, I guarantee you that child is going to go for the burger. And then the last point is this pro-bug cancel culture that has come out overnight, where you are being attacked if you say something that is totally factual, like 81% of bugs carry parasites that are harmful to humans. I'm not giving this to my children.
You know, it's interesting, though. I see their point that if a bug is carrying another bug, you get twice the benefit. So, like, we think, like, oh, my God, I have a parasite. But if a bug has a parasite, it's like you just got 30% free. It's like 2 scoops of raisins. Oh, don't remember that? But I love the fact that you listed all the media, because that's the weird thing, Joe, is that I like to do that so you get ready. I'm ready. I could tell you were nodding off in your little Mr. Rogers sweater. No, but it's like all those videos. They're not recent. They're in the last 5 years. But all of this stuff came out in the last 2 weeks as meat got more expensive. It's the same logic they're using on fossil fuels, natural gas. They want to price it out, so you go to the windmills. In this case, they want us to eat bugs.
Well, the part of Mexico where my family came from, they don't eat bugs. I mean, it's just certain parts of Mexico where there's like...
Yeah. Should I do a correction?
Yeah, it's called, the human centipede.
Did I offend you by... I didn't even mention Mexico.
Well, I'm just saying...
That was what's her face?
It's on your face.
It's on my face.
When they said Mexico, you looked at me and said, huh?
Yeah, I pointed at you. It was Salma Hayek. Was that Salma Hayek that was eating like a critter?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, the producer.
Yeah.
So apologize to me.
I will. I apologize for your racism. Yes. But the restaurants, even the restaurants in Mexico where they eat the bugs, they don't serve you a bunch of bugs and expect you to be full. You got a pound of carnitas, and then they sprinkle some, chapulines on them, little grasshoppers around the side to make you feel hip. But in the end, the way they cook them, they just end up tasting, it's like a donut. It just ends up tasting like the kind of, whatever kind of ketchup you put on it.
Right. But the problem is, I don't see any ketchup in any of this.
No, well, they'll get there.
Yes!
They'll find out soon enough.
Soon enough, they'll find out, and then everything changes, right?
Yes.
Ketchup changes everything. Right? It's like the internet for food. Kat, how are you?
I'm all right.
Just all right? Well, when you saw this as a topic, what did you think? Finally, we're going to attack the whole bug industry, the brainwashing.
Yeah, I just, I guess we've gotten over the whole cultural appropriation thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Haven't we been hearing for years that taking anything from another culture is cultural appropriation? And now if they've changed their minds, they're like, no, if you just take the really stuff, it's okay.
It's like, oh, you better not wear the sombrero on May 5th. But we want to eat your bugs, Joe. Escalante.
Yeah, I could not open like a taco stand, but if it's all bugs, then I'm good.
Yes.
I think they're punking the climate people. Because none of the people giving this advice follow it. Like you were saying, they all fly in private jets, but tell you to fly coach. I think they're in John Kerry's jet laughing their asses off. Like, dude, people are eating bugs right now. Like, they're listening to the Beatles while you're eating the Beatles. You know what I'm saying? It's so dumb.
That was it. You had that joke in your pocket, and you're like,
I'm so happy that you got it.
Okay, I need to throw it out there.
Yeah.
All right. No, it's okay. I appreciate it. Gotta laugh. Why is everybody so sensitive? What bug is up your ass? Boom! What's gone wrong? This is Fox News. Up next, law enforcement gets Cam's endorsement.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.